wants to talk about the clothes, but I wonder if they would ask the men about the clothes.
Blake Lively rejected Hollywood before she conquered it. Her dad was already an actor, but she was dead set on Stanford University instead of the spotlight that would eventually make her famous. What changed her mind? The Blake Lively you think you know is actually a masterclass in celebrity brand building. Behind her seemingly effortless ascent lies one of the most calculated rises to A-list status we've ever seen. A strategic playbook for fame that transformed initial reluctance into deliberate stardom. The reluctant actress born into Hollywood, but desperate to escape. Imagine being so desperate to escape Hollywood that you'd literally do anything to avoid following in your famous family's footsteps. That was Blake Lively, a girl who grew up with the ultimate insider access to an industry millions would kill to enter. Yet, she wanted absolutely nothing to do with it. We're talking about a teenager who rolled her eyes at the very mention of audition, while living in a house where acting careers were discussed over morning coffee like weather forecasts. For Blake, rejecting Hollywood wasn't just teenage rebellion, it was her defining mission. While her classmates fantasized about fame, she was laser-focused on Stanford University, throwing herself into cheerleading and class presidency at Burbank High School. The entertainment industry? That was her family's territory, not hers. And what territory it was. Blake's father, Ernie, appeared in major productions like The Dukes of Hazzard and Turner and Hooch, the kind of steady career most actors would dream about. Her mother, Elaine, worked as a talent scout, literally discovering new actors while her own daughter avoided becoming one. All four of her siblings, Eric, Lori, Robin, and Jason, worked in entertainment, with half-sister Robin even starring in cult classic Teen Witch. The Lively household wasn't just a home, it was essentially a working film studio, where Hollywood connections ran as deep as family ties. Imagine trying to focus on calculus homework while your siblings run lines for TV shows and your parents debate which casting director to call. This was Blake's daily reality, a constant reminder of the family business she was determined to reject. The entertainment industry hung in the air like a persistent cologne, impossible to escape despite her strongest efforts. Her first encounter with acting came reluctantly at age 10, when she appeared in her father's film Sandman, 1998. Years later, Blake dismissed it as just a bit part, revealing her conflicted relationship with acting from the beginning. While other child actors might treasure their first role, Blake treated it like an unwanted obligation she couldn't escape. The turning point came when her brother, Eric, took matters into his own hands, asking his talent agent to send his sister on auditions during summer break. For a girl who'd spent years saying no in Hollywood, this sibling intervention would change everything. The irony is perfect. Blake, who had actively avoided using her family's connections, ultimately found her way to stardom because of those very same connections. Her brother's agent, an opportunity only available through her family's industry and status, would lead Blake to an audition that transformed her from Stanford-bound student to rising Hollywood star. Life has a twisted sense of humor. That reluctant audition her brother forced upon her didn't just change Blake's summer plans, it shattered her meticulously crafted future like a hammer on glass. Between her junior and senior years of high school, Blake found herself portraying Bridget Vreeland in Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, a character who ironically knew exactly what she wanted while the real Blake was facing an existential crisis of her own path. A summer gig meant to appease her family exploded into a $42 million worldwide box office hit. The Stanford-bound academic overachiever suddenly found herself collecting Teen Choice Award nominations while her face plastered movie posters nationwide. Talk about cosmic irony. Blake was living the definition of be careful what you wish for. I was so young and I was still in high school, so it was really an interesting time for me. I was trying to figure out who I was and what I wanted to do, Blake later confessed, her voice tinged with the panic of someone watching their carefully constructed identity crumble before them. Playing confident, laser-focused, Bridget felt like a cruel joke while Blake's internal compass spun wildly out of control. After graduating high school in 2005, the pressure intensified. Blake's accidental summer job had created actual career momentum. The Hollywood machine she'd spent years avoiding was suckering her in, the same industry that had already claimed her entire family. Each new role in films like Accepted in 2006 dragged her further from her academic dreams. Her performance in Elvis and Annabelle in 2007 sealed her fate. Critics weren't just noticing her, they were actively singing her praises. Movieline.com called it her breakthrough role, words that probably felt like both validation and a death sentence to her college aspirations. Hollywood's Life's Breakthrough Award became another golden handcuff, shackling her to the family business she tried so desperately to escape. The ultimate decision loomed: Stanford or Stardom? With each successful project, saying no to the next opportunity became impossible. How do you walk away when you're accidentally excelling at something you never wanted? I was supposed to go to Stanford, and I had to make a choice. I was at a crossroads, and I chose to pursue acting instead, Blake later explained, her words masking the agonizing deliberation behind sacrificing years of academic preparation. The girl who refused to use family connections now found herself trapped in unwanted success. Each role generated momentum for the next one, creating an unstoppable conveyor belt carrying her further from her original plans. The Stanford dream faded, replaced by a career she never wanted but undeniably excelled at. Just when Blake thought she had some control over her accidental acting career, network executives were about to pull the ultimate bait and switch. "We promise you can afford college while filming," they assured her with Hollywood smiles that don't quite reach the eyes. What she couldn't possibly know was that saying yes to Serena van der Woodsen meant signing away 5 years of her life to a character that would threaten to define her entire identity. In 2007, the CW dangled a golden opportunity in front of Blake, the lead role in their new teen drama Gossip Girl. For someone who'd been fighting so hard to maintain their academic dreams, the timing could not have been worse. She was determined to turn down the role to pursue her education, but TV executives aren't exactly known for taking no for an answer. They made verbal promises that she would be able to attend college part-time while filming, a compromise that seemed to offer the best of both worlds. Blake later reflected on this lesson in Hollywood manipulation. This is advice to anyone. When they say, "We promise we can't put it in writing," there's a reason they can't put it in writing. Those invisible chains would soon become painfully real. When Gossip Girl premiered in September of 2007, Blake's fame exploded like a cultural earthquake. Suddenly, her face was plastered literally everywhere. Magazine covers, billboards, and TV promos. The transformation was jarring. Overnight, she morphed from working actress with modest recognition into a household name that teenage girls across America obsessed over. That's the dirty little secret of TV stardom. It comes with golden handcuffs. Blake found herself legally shackled to a 5-year contract playing Serena van der Woodsen, the pretty, privileged party girl of Manhattan's Upper East Side. The same character that made her famous now threatened to become her career prison. The handcuffs were lined with diamonds, but they were handcuffs nonetheless. Behind the perfectly styled Serena persona, Blake was plotting a strategic escape. She maintained film reverence by starring in The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants 2 in 2008 and New York, I Love You in 2009, proving she could juggle both television and film commitments. Blake's most brilliant role came in 2010 when she leveraged her Gossip Girl fame, turning her golden handcuffs into a golden key, to land a role in Ben Affleck's gritty crime thriller, The Town. She played a drug-addicted single mother, the polar opposite of Serena. Critics were stunned by her transformation, with Variety noting she was almost unrecognizable and has fierce, pained moments as the mole in Single Mother, tossed aside. She had transformed her television prison into a Hollywood launching pad. Those calculated risks in The Town were just the opening move in Blake's master plan, a plan she'd need when facing the entertainment industry's most notorious career killer. When Gossip Girl wrapped in 2012, Hollywood already had Blake's obituary written. Just another TV star destined for the "where are they now" pile with all the other small-screen has-beens who couldn't make the jump. The notorious TV actress curse is no joke. 94% of television stars never successfully transitioned to A-list film careers. Blake Lively refused to become another statistic in Hollywood's graveyard of forgotten actresses. Instead, she engineered one of the most calculated career reinventions while her Gossip Girl co-stars scrambled for their next gig. Her strategy unfolded like a championship chess match, a 3-pronged attack that transformed her from the blonde from the CW into a legitimate Hollywood force. On the first square of the board, she made strategic film choices to erase Serena van der Woodsen from our collective memory. Her role in Oliver Stone's Savages positioned her alongside Benicio del Toro and John Travolta, a calculated move to associate herself with Hollywood royalty. Meanwhile, Green Lantern may have bombed with critics, but it accomplished exactly what Blake needed: visibility in the blockbuster space and access to the superhero franchise machine now dominating Hollywood. For her second strategic advance, Blake captured the fashion kingdom. Gucci crowned her the face of their premier fragrance in 2012, featuring her in a short film that elevated her from actress to sophisticated brand ambassador. By October of 2013, L'Oreal had placed her face on billboards worldwide, solidifying her status as a fashion icon beyond the screen. The third prong of her strategy might be her most brilliant chess move yet. Her relationship with Ryan Reynolds evolved into the perfect strategic alliance by their September 2012 wedding. Individually, they were successful actors, but together, a Hollywood power couple commanding twice the media attention. Like a grandmaster unveiling a surprise gambit, Blake revealed her entrepreneurial ambitions in 2014 with Preserve, her lifestyle brand featuring handcrafted items she personally curated. Though it closed in 2015, and Blake admitted it launched before it was ready, it established her as more than just an actress. She was now a tastemaker with business acumen. Her public persona expanded as she positioned herself as a foodie and cook, citing Martha Stewart as her idol and showcasing her domestic expertise. This wasn't random sharing. It was calculated personal branding, creating a multi-dimensional image. In 2021, her entrepreneurial spirit had checkmated Hollywood's expectations with Betty Buzz, followed by Betty Booze in 2023, cementing her status as a lifestyle entrepreneur who had transcended the limitations of being merely an actress. Blake's business ventures weren't just side hustles. They were calculated distractions concealing her Hollywood takeover plan. While everyone was busy talking about her Betty Buzz mixers, she was executing power moves that would make Serena van der Woodsen look amateur. In 2015, Blake had proven she could act, but Hollywood withheld respect. Instead of complaining like most other celebrities, she launched into strategic warfare. Her first target, the outdated notion that actresses needed male co-stars to succeed. In The Age of Adeline, she played an immortal woman who stops aging, mirroring her refusal to accept Hollywood's expiration date for actresses. The film grossed nearly $66 million worldwide, not blockbuster numbers, but proof that she could draw audiences alone. Blake was just warming up. In 2016, she literally carried The Shallows, a survival thriller where she's stranded on a rock with a hungry shark circling for 90 minutes. No ensemble cast, no male lead to save her, just Blake versus the shark. And the result was $119 million globally. Message to the executives: Blake Lively makes bank without male co-stars. Her most brilliant move came in 2018 with a simple favor. She murdered that nice blonde from Gossip Girl and replaced her with Emily Nelson, a manipulative martini-drinking sociopath who makes viewers uncomfortable in all the right ways. Critics who had dismissed her suddenly couldn't stop talking about her performance. Oscar whispers began circulating, and though no nomination materialized, industry perception had permanently shifted. While building acting credibility, Blake was simultaneously constructing an empire beyond the camera. She wasn't content being in front of the lens, though. She needed to captain the entire ship. Her directorial debut came through strategic alignment with Taylor Swift. By directing Swift's I Bet You Think About Me music video in 2021, Blake showcased her helm skills and navigating alongside Swift's cultural juggernaut. By April of 2022, Blake wasn't begging for directing opportunities. She was charting her own course. Her feature directorial debut was announced as an adaptation of Seconds with Edgar Wright writing the screenplay, positioning her as a filmmaker rather than just another actress reading someone else's lines. The transformation became complete when reports revealed Blake now commands over $25 million per film. The girl who once claimed no interest in acting had engineered her way to determining which projects get made, who stars in them, and her participation price. Zoom out, and Blake's strategy becomes clear. While others chased roles, she built an empire, acting, directing, producing, and launching multiple successful businesses. She didn't just marry Ryan Reynolds. She created a family business ecosystem where Betty Buzz complemented Aviation Gin, turning their household into an entrepreneurial powerhouse. This woman, who once portrayed reluctance towards fame, had methodically climbed Hollywood's ladder with calculated precision. The narrative she crafted was merely the opening scene in Blake's deliberately scripted blockbuster career. She transformed from that girl from Gossip Girl into a multi-hyphenate powerhouse commanding attention with every move. Blake's journey reveals Hollywood's brutal truth. Talent opens doors, but strategic brilliance keeps you relevant. When you see her effortlessly glowing on magazine covers, remember, you're witnessing Blake Lively, the execution of Hollywood's most brilliant long con, with sequels still to come.